All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
All right, we the brothers here from Great Millstone Atlanta camp. Before we get started, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. All right, double honors once again to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule and teach well. Peace, safety, and much love to the elect that's scattered around the four corners of the earth, giving all diligence to make the calling of election sure. This is going to be like a quick various topic in transit. Me and the brother Barzal was speaking on just certain things prior to the cutting on the camera. Spirit moved on us to put some of this stuff on camera, and basically the time is short, man. The time is at hand. We living in very serious times. The RFID microchip is pretty much at its peak right now. As you could tell that the elitists they're about to mandate and instill that into society. You're seeing a volatile market with the stocks. You're seeing a rise and a fall is very unpredictable right now. The dollar is being weakened. People just bugging out, out here in the world, all kind of catastrophes, chaoses. It was a tsunami out in Indonesia. So it's a lot happening in the spirit. We got less than a week before we'll be in the new Gregorian year of the calendar, and man, things are gonna pop off, man. Things gonna pop off, things gonna transpire. The Most High gonna really kick this thing into another gear, and we got to make sure that we are in that spirit of being on fire, not being complacent, not having a growth mindset, an abundant. You got to develop an abundant mindset, a mindset of abundance, because that's what the Lord is leading us to. Yep. But before we can get to that point, we have to learn growth and development and get ready for the days that's coming.
Yep.
You want to speak on that?
Yeah, I have actually a precept to go into that. This is Ephesians 4:13. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 11. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yahweh Shai.
That's right. The scriptures say he gave some apostles, teachers, evangelists, so on and so forth, for the perfecting of the saints. Okay? So we have certain men over us in the spirit to lead us to the down the path of perfection, which leads to Yahweh Shai. Okay? That's why the scriptures, Yahweh Shai said what? Be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. Okay, so we have to I know how to get there. We have to learn to grow and perfect being a man of the Lord in these coming times, man. We have to learn to grow and put ourselves in that mind frame of perfection. It can be achieved.
That's right.
That it wouldn't if it couldn't be achieved, Yahweh Shai would have never said it.
Yeah, that's why it says that be perfect even as your Father in heaven is perfect. And it's all about having that spirit of perfectionism. Because as these prophecies unfold and they gear closer to the end, our mindsets have to be, we have to have a certain mindset in order to be able to sustain in those days. And what does it say? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. So actually having the abundance of wisdom, the abundance of knowledge, the high level of discernment, understanding and these different things and being able to endure them, that's the essence of being perfect.
That's right.
When anything is thrown your way and you're able to catch it, and you're able to evade any opposition, that's perfection, man.
Yeah.
Not being caught up by the guiles and the tricks of the devil.
Yep.
That's the man of the Lord that the Lord is looking at. He's not looking for no goddamn professional basketball players,
right?
Or football players. He's looking for the ones that actually measuring up to the fullness of this word.
Yeah, you look at a master or a person that has pretty much perfected his craft. He's known as a professional. So look at a Michael Jordan, for instance, or Floyd Mayweather. They pretty much got to a point in their career where they were perfect. Okay, they didn't have many flaws. You didn't necessarily witness a lot of flaws because they mastered their craft. So we have to move in that spirit as well. Consider, get that Ephesians 5 and 15. Okay. we have to move in that spirit of circumspection, you know, moving wise, you know, being wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, you know, having a real keen sense of judgment when it comes down to certain matters, understanding really how to move, because we get ready to go into a serious amount of action, man. It's about to get real action packed.
That's right.
You know that part in the movie where the movie might start off slow, then next thing you know, it's just action scene after action after
the climax.
action. You know, and that's the we about to hit that point where it's about to be hella action out here. So we gonna have to be more in a sense of perfection in that day, man. You know, get that Ephesians 5, Baba Prashad.
Ephesians 5:15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools.
Yeah, a fool is somebody that don't study their craft. All right, like a Michael Vick, you know, just trying to move off raw talent. You know, that's a fool. Somebody that don't really put the energy into what they trying to perfect. That's a fool.
Yeah.
You know, it's foolish.
That's right. And just like the brother speaking about like Michael Vick, and you know, they even speak about like Allen Iverson. He was an individual.
Adrian Broner.
Yep, Adrian Broner. Those individuals had raw talent. And even in his truth, you might be truly gifted, but it's all about honing in and developing off of the craft and or the skills that you already have. If you're a man that already had a preconceived level of judgment, you increase that judgment and back it by scriptural points. You back it by spirituality. You back it by mercy. You back it by discernment.
Yep.
And these things of that aspect. Because this isn't a thing where you just jump in and you start off perfect. Nah, you start off having to work on yourself.
Fine.
You know, self-critiquing, self-improvement. This is the highest level of self-improvement, you know?
Yeah.
And it starts with examination. It starts with analyzing yourself, getting on yourself, seeing the weak points in one's being, and developing yourself. And when you actually come up on a spiritual level, you actually teach others to do the same.
Yeah, you don't want to be a fool. Can't teach nobody anything but how to be a fool. Okay, so that's why the scriptures say, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise." Okay, go ahead, brother.
All right. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil.
Absolutely. Meaning you have to buy back the time. You have to pretty much get more so in the spirit of getting his word down pat, knowing how to move with this word. So, because it's one thing to understand the truth, you know, understand the scriptures or know the scriptures. It's another thing to put it into action. Okay, that's the wisdom aspect of it, man. So that's why the scriptures say, "See then that you move as wise, man." You know, and when you move with wisdom, you pretty much become perfect.
Yep.
That's the wisdom is how the saints are being perfected. You know, through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. When you have the wisdom, it causes you to move according to perfection. You know, pretty much flawless. Like, okay, man, this man measuring up. He measuring up to the standard. You know, it says redeeming the time because the days are evil. You're not gonna have a lot of room to respond as a fool in these times, man. Yeah. Foolish responses can cost you your life, man.
Yeah, just like Yahweh Shah will go through a list of trials. His whole life was trials when you read the scripts, of course, of what he went through. And everything he went through, he knew how to lean towards the right sense of judgment. Yep. There was times where he had to submit mercy unto certain individuals. It was times that he had to judge, to condemn. Like the fig tree that brought not forth fruit. Certain Pharisees and Sadducees were worthy of condemnation. But he's seen individuals that was worthy of mercy. Yep. You know, trials where he was actually tempted and points where he possibly could fear. But he didn't lean towards fear. He leaned towards faith. He used a high sense of keen judgment and wisdom in all walks and manners of life. So we have to exercise the same aspects within ourselves that Yahweh Shah did, man.
That's right. You know, go ahead. All
right. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is.
Yeah, the understanding what the will of the Heavenly Father is. And a lot of you guys out here that's teaching contrary to the mark of the beast, being an RFID microchip, you're not speaking according to the will of the Heavenly Father, and He gonna kill you for that, man. Just to be straight up and down blunt. Okay, the Lord gonna start killing you. Okay, because what the Lord is looking for those that's gonna speak and carry out His will, man. Okay, And that's primarily the men of Great Millstone.
Con.
You know, a lot of Israelites right now are moving in a very unwise spirit, man. They moving as foolish. Okay, they got their little shows, you know, on YouTube. They got they audience, and they gonna stick with these felonious ass breakdowns, man.
Con.
You know, and it's gonna cause you to move as a fool in that day and lose your life. Okay, God.
All right, rereading verse 17. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is.
Go ahead.
And be not drunk with wine.
Yeah, a lot of you guys, you drunk with wine, man. That's talking about spiritual wine. Okay, your mind has been given over to the teachings of Satan, man. All right, the opposition, the opposite of the true doctrine, man. Okay,
Yeah.
If you teaching that the RFID microchip is Christianity, that's a doctrine of a devil, man. That's a deceitful doctrine.
Yep.
And Paul and other disciples forewarned us about the circumcision. He said, beware of wolves, you know, beware of dogs. These individuals, their whole sole purpose is to catch the vulnerable, catch the naive. And a lot of you guys are very naive when it comes to the scripts, man. Through lack of studying, through just trying to be part of a group. You know, you're not really trying to actually rightly divide the word of truth. And you're going to get caught up in a harsh judgment. And you got a lot of guys that's speaking about the judgment's not going to come.
Yeah.
Pushing the judgment in the back burner.
Yeah, you had Nate saying that when the Benjamite pastor was checking him, Nate clearly said that we not going to be here during the time of destruction. That's not in the scriptures, man. It said in Jeremiah 30, it said it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So we gonna be here, you know.
And with spiritual on top of that, just to add to what you're saying,
just let me know where I turn in at.
Okay. Anytime judgment took place, we were in the heart of the judgment when Egypt fell. Where was we at? We was in the cusp of Egypt.
Yeah.
The Most High didn't just deliver us. The Lord let us see it through what? So that we could be fear, so that we can have fear. All right. When Babylon fell, when Greece fell, all these different major empires, they actually collapsed. The Most High actually gave us firsthand look, and it's the same thing with America.
That's right.
Now, mind you, of course, the scriptures speak about us being protected, and we're going to actually be under the shadow, but it speaks about the time where all men are going to be tried.
Yep.
And that's talking about us. Revelation, the 3rd chapter.
Let's get that.
Okay. Jeremiah 30 and 7. Jacob's trouble.
Yeah, then we'll get Revelation 3, then we'll go ahead and wrap it up.
This is Jeremiah 30 and 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
That's right.
But he shall be saved out of it.
Yeah, so we're gonna be here, and we're gonna. Does not the scripture say, "With thine eyes shalt thou behold the reward of the wicked"? So we're gonna actually be here, and we have to make sure that, you know, we ready and we built up to endure through that time. We're gonna have to be made perfect through that suffering, man.
Yep.
You know, we gotta suffer. We gotta suffer with that. We gotta go through that. But in the midst of the trouble, the Lord is gonna protect His saints. Okay, and we have to believe that wholeheartedly. Okay, Con. Okay. Let's get that Revelation 3, then we'll close out.
Okay.
We almost at the destination.
This is Revelations 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Yeah, so the Lord ain't giving no free tickets into the kingdom of heaven, man. Everybody gonna earn their keep. Whether it's such as to the sword, or such as for salvation, to salvation. Okay? But everybody's gonna earn their reward, whether it's death or life.
Yep.
So the time of temptation is gonna try everybody. Okay? Ain't nobody is exempt from going through the time of Jacob's trouble unless you in the spirit world.
And that's what all reverts back to what we're saying, what we just said from the beginning. It's all about us increasing our mindset and increasing our spiritual endurance, so when these things actually knock on each and every one of our doors, we'll be fully prepared.
Yep.
The Lord spoke about Himself coming as a thief. Why would He actually forewarn the prophets and the men of the Lord about times of trouble if they weren't supposed to go through these things? They were supposed to go through these things, but it's all about their mindsets being prepped for the things that were to actually come.
That's it. You know, that's right. So, hey, it's preparation time. It's really time to get out of that complacent spirit, that spirit of comfort, that spirit of you know, being relaxed and settled on your leaves,
yeah.
and really get in that spirit of elevating your fire, man. You know, check your pulse, man. Check your spiritual pulse. See if you still got life. Because one thing about Satan don't snatch you out the truth in 24 hours, man. It's a steady pull, man, at your spirit. And at times you won't see that you slipping, because Satan it's a steady tug. That's why you're supposed to mortify the deeds of the flesh. You don't want to give no room for Satan to tug you out, man.
That's right.
And that's a trend that you see. You see a lot of men, they really be falling out for years, man. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and close it out. Wrap this thing up, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors once again to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and safety to the elect. Until the next time, we say shalom.
Shalom.